Glenlarvan, and it's a little bit of a shorter one today. Some will love it, some will be a little bit disappointed. You can insert your own joke there if you choose to. Basically, I had a little bit of time before I have to go do the airport run to record a video, so that's what I've done. Hoping that means there are less gaps over the coming days as I go back to work. We'll see. Bear with me. Things will return to normal over the next, probably by mid next week. I'm hoping to be back to proper normal. I mean, there haven't really been any gaps in the videos, but I've been doing them basically the day before, and that means that with going back to work and real life, there will be some gaps because I'm not always going to be able to do that. The job for today is we're going to get the remaining two fields limed. Field 7, which is this field, which is going to be split into two arable fields. So after this, the next job will be to plough this grass in. It does need ploughing, I believe. I should have paid attention as I was running across to the tractor. Anyway, it needs a lot of lime also. So, well, bits of it need quite a lot of lime. So we're going to get through it fairly quickly. I'm going to get another load delivered to the yard, save us the run back into town to the store. That means we can get big bags delivered as well, rather than loading up with the forklift at the store, and that will just be easier for filling in bulk, because we're going to get through a lot. You can see we've already used pretty much an entire spreader full, and we've not done one long run down the field. So yeah, lots of refilling. There is a bit of rain forecast in the middle of the day, so we're going to have to shut down probably basically for a long lunch break, which, you know, who's going to complain about that? Once the cows come, obviously I will be using the periods of so yeah, we do need to plough the field, so can't just disc the grass in. I will be using the periods of inclement weather that we get here in Scotland to do the animal work probably. So I think that's going to be April. I had half expected to be skipping ahead to April, but I figured actually, rather than rushing in April to do all the field work, while the weather's good, we'll do what we can in March, and you know, then it'll make April a little bit less busy. Make limes while the sun shines, or something like that. I've been trying to think of some witty pun to do with lime or the video title. I don't know if I have succeeded or not at this point, because I haven't got that far yet. You will know or not. I may have completely given up on that idea. And I say thank you to patrons and YouTube channel members at this point. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You are all pretty darn awesome. But YouTube served up a video to me this morning that I was somewhat surprised by, but I watched it, and it was quite interesting. It was a Millennial Farmer video. YouTube has not served me up a Millennial Farmer video in a long time. I don't know if he's taken a break from making videos, or just because I'm not a huge watcher of his channel, YouTube's just not serving them up, because, you know, the way that the almighty algorithm works is it works for, as well as working for Google and YouTube, it works for the viewer. So it serves you the videos that you watch and interact with. So if you watch my videos and you comment on my videos, you get served more, for example. And I say I've not watched any of his videos in a while, but it served up the one. It was, I've forgotten the name of the charity. It was a charity kind of in the area of the US that he's based, where they help out farmers who have had problems, and it was the 1000th farm that they were helping, and this farm had been had a direct hit from a tornado. The family had been, and it was a while ago. It was in March. The family had to hide in the basement, which thankfully survived. when they came. If you've seen this, you kind of know it's all it. When they came out of the basement, instead of coming out into their dining room, they were outside their house. Chunks of their house has been destroyed. All of the pallets of seed fell off the trailer, which was a bit annoying, so we've got to rescue those, and then we're going to go down, get those unloaded, and get the lime that's going to be delivered. Yeah, all of the they were set ready to go planting. All of their farm buildings were destroyed. Every bit of farm machinery, I think, was destroyed. So and Zach had the guy who runs the farm on there. I don't remember his name. The local John Deere dealer leased them. It's an interesting story. The story started out with, the local John Deere dealer got in touch with us, asking us what we needed, and I thought it was going to go on to, and they just donated this kit to us so we could get working. But no, they leased it to them. I'm assuming there's some sort of insurance thing there, maybe, but they leased them the kit, and they brought some kit so they could get their crops in spring. And then this charity were there harvesting their winter wheat, and yeah, it was really cool, you know. But basically, obviously they've had a lot of impact. They've lost their house, they've lost their farm, but they had the fields, and through, you know, whatever means, they managed to plant their crops, and they've got crops growing, which means they're going to have an income, which, you know, it's just really cool. It was really interesting that YouTube served it up, I thought. Yeah. So let's get some lime delivered to the yard. I'm going to go for big bags, as I said, and we're going to get 16 of them, because we need quite a lot to finish the field that we're in, and then we have another field to do. The other field is not as bad. I just don't want to run out again, so I get these loaded up on the trailer to take over to the field. Obviously having the Merlot makes this so much easier. One of the loader tractors would get them on the trailer. They'd probably struggle to load them into the spreader without a big bag lifter, which I have spoken about getting, but actually I think this works really well. So health and safety would be less happy. Ollie Blogs did a bit on that. I don't remember all the details, but I think they'd had either health and safety or the red tractor guys in at some point, and they had to go buy a big bag lift up because using pallet forks is not health and safety approved for doing that kind of work, apparently. And I guess it's a lot of weight, and you've not got anything to retain the bags other than gravity and friction, and you know those can switch off. And I remember there was a health and safety walk around at work one day, and I had a very old CRT monitor. The thing must have weighed probably 15 kilos, and because it was heavy, it had to be removed because it might fall off the desk. Now, it was sat on a very sturdy desk at the back of the desk, and so because this monitor was heavy, it had to be taken away because it might fall and hurt someone, you know, because gravity might fail, and it would float up in the air and then fall and hurt someone. Yeah. They didn't take it away because it was a special type of monitor which they couldn't replace with a flat panel, which is what they were trying to do. What they actually wanted to do was make the office all look the same because they didn't like that some things were different. And it's important that offices all look the same. Yeah. Can you tell that I'm a little bit cynical about that? Thankfully, I'm not in that area anymore. We get left alone, which is nice. It's much nicer. Yeah, so first field mostly done. I'm going to reduce the width because we don't need the 42-meter spread width at this point. So that means the line will go a little bit further, which is nice. I mean, there's barely any left in the spreader. So, and with precision farming, it's always a thing when you start a map that you need to apply, or you can need to apply quite a lot of lime to a field to get it in a good state. Once you've done that, the amount of lime that you use with precision farming is actually pretty small, and you can generally apply. And I think the way it's designed, having read the XML files, is that you apply lime every 2 or 3 harvests. So I think Giant's idea is that maybe you over apply 1 click, and then each time you harvest it reduces it 1 level, and so you can in theory do a bit like base game. You can still do 3 harvests and not have to reapply lime and still get a good result out of it. And I tend to do that with grass work, because each time you cut the grass you need to apply, you're reducing you're affecting the pH, and so but I generally don't lime every single time. And again, with harvesting crops, you don't have to apply lime every time. If you do, it's only going to be a little bit. So you kind of take your choice with precision farming. Whereas with base game, when you apply lime, it's quite a big hit. It is quite a big hit. So yeah. But we're making progress now. So as I said, next job will be to get field 7 ploughed in. I'll probably do what I did in field 1 and have both ploughs running, get that done a bit quicker. We'll then split that up, and then in April we can get planting started. The rain is just kicking in, so I'm going to let this empty out, and then we are going to go take a bit of a quick lunch break to let this storm blow over. There we go. Very quick lunch break, and I think that's going to be a feature of doing some of the work here. Some work I'll just go through the wet, I mean, I should probably... Okay. Little poll answer in the comments below. Should I add in the mud mod so that we aren't affected when the fields are wet? So, because I'm saying I'm just going to crack on if it's been raining. But, that might be a way of making that more realistic. I've not used the mud mod. My only experience of it is watching Daggerwin on Purbeck on like 1 or 2 episodes, and him constantly getting stuck. So I kind of gave up on that series, like I do with most Daggerwin series. So yeah, I've not played with it. Maybe we should add it in on here, so that if we want to say manure spread and it's raining, we might get stuck in the field. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Headland done. I mean, do the 1 headland obviously, because I've left it at a 30-meter spread width because it's not a big field. We didn't need a 40-meter headland. I figured we would waste less lime on the headland at least, and actually it's only going to be 2 rows, so we'll just leave it at 30 meters and run with that. Yeah, it is a bit of a shorter one. I figured that shorter was better than 0, and the other option was probably 0. So you take your choices really. If you want a really long video, then at this point you kind of can't, but you could wait until the next couple come out and you could binge watch them. It's up to you. Yeah, it is nice to have some daylight and some dry weather. Oh, the winter months on here were grim. We definitely gonna have to make best use of spring and summer on here. Harvest is going to be a challenge. I'm tempted actually to go up to 4-day months. So on the mod desk for this, we went with a suggested minimum of 3-day months, and that was really so that because there is bad weather. If you play on 1-day months, you could lose your entire harvest season due to bad weather. And now that is a gamble you take, but I want to have it long enough that I have the option. So actually, we don't need to plough this field, which is nice. I thought we were going to have to get the subsoiler out. So I might go to 4-day months. I might not. I think I've spoken about that in the past, and some of you have just said just leave it and deal with the bad weather, and that might that might become a point. I mean, on Saxthorpe, I did that with the. It's interesting actually. With if you've watched that video, I was harvesting silage, and there was a period of rain in that, and I just pushed through it. I didn't get the warning about reduced yield, so I kind of feel that there might need to be a little bit of a test there as to what types of harvesting does rain affect. So, because I've not really messed around with that. Generally, if it rains, I don't harvest, but I had to in that situation, and there could come a point on here where we just need to harvest in the wet and get, you know, the field combined or whatever. So there might be a little bit of testing to do in there. I really want to get the rest of the VCA enhanced vehicle tutorials done as well. A bit like I was talking about before I did the GPS one, I just need to spend a little bit of time reminding myself of all of the detail of the features. That video has been more popular than I expected given the age of guidance steering, and got a lot of really positive feedback, which was cool. I did try and make it as I'm trying to think the right word, as comprehensive as possible. You know, there are a lot of tutorials that just touch on the basics of using it, which is fine for most people, and you guys know how I am. I wanted to go all out and try and cover as much as I could. So we're just going to get these bags put away, and I'm going to call it a day. But there is time left in the day to do some ploughing. That might be the next video. Might start from here with some ploughing. I might push forward to 2nd of March, see if there are any contracts up, because I would like to get this online for the patrons for the multiplayer bit. I feel a little bit guilty that I think some people did sign up for that and it's not been available, so I kind of apologize for that, but it's just kind of how it's worked out. I'm hoping that contracts will kick in as we get into, at the very least, April. I'm hoping the grass will be grown in April, because then we can bring the caps over and start working on getting some. And as soon as we've got some hay, we can bring the cows over anyway, because we've got grass silage. If we've got grass silage and hay, we can make some sort of TMR. In fact, we've got grass silage, hay, and potatoes. So, you know, even if we have to go to the store, we can make some sort of TMR to feed to the cows. So that will be good, because it will be nice to have this condensed down to one save. It's a bit of a faff having to go back to Maypole to look after the animals. It would be nice to just play this. It is nice to be back on here and making progress. Did I mention having nice weather? Yeah. So yeah, I think probably I think it'll be April when we get the cows over. I have progressed Maypole so that that's ready, so I can just focus on playing on here and Saxthorpe, obviously. And probably as I get back to normal, I'll get back into doing some regular tutorials as well, because those are cool. And it'll be VCA and enhanced vehicle, and I really want to have a look at that harvesting in the rain and what's affected. Now that I've spoken about it, it's piqued my interest. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. I hope you have enjoyed this slightly shorter experience. If you have, click the like button. Any comments, questions, suggestions below, and I will see you next time on Glen Lardon.